Here we are, episode 118. I think I forgot to list a few. This might be like episode 120 or 121. I don't know. I guess that's a good thing when you do so many. You lose count. Anyway, on this episode, we're going to be talking about the year in music 1967. And as usual, I have the Wrecking Two in the house, Mark Smith and Lou Calicchio of the Music Relish Show. Very interesting year. A lot happened. Sit back, relax. It's going to be another 2.5 hour podcast, but we love it. Enjoy the show.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Yes, let's talk music. Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Welcome to the podcast. You know the name. I'm not going to say it. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch, D-Live, and again, I don't know how many other things. And this podcast will be heard on every podcast platform. Yeah, 1967. It was quite a year. I think you're in for a little ride tonight. Yeah. And you know who wasn't born in he was 3 in 1967. Mark Smith from the Music Relish Show.
Good evening. I was 2 years from being on this earth.
2 years. So you weren't even really thought of.
No.
You weren't even thought of in 67. Think of that.
Yeah.
You weren't even thought of. You weren't even like a sparkle in as they say, in your father's eye.
There might have been the beginning of a sparkle. Who knows? But
So let me see. I'm looking at my is my screen still fuzzy?
on my end, but I'm not even seeing it on YouTube right now. I'm seeing it's live, but I just got the image of the vinyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
Wait. Yeah. Oh, it's on. I see it.
But my screen looks fuzzy, right?
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing you from my end. Yeah.
What the hell? Let me check something here. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's do a little in-show. I think my
Hey, you know that smooth little march of colors next to you when you open up the show? It's all choppy. It's all like going really weird.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, right? Let's go back to this. See what happens. So I'm supposed to be in 1080, but I'm looking at it right now.
Now you're sharp. You just got sharp.
It did.
But it goes back and forth. It's strange.
Let's see.
Like hearing yourself, huh?
I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Do a refresh here. I'm playing it. All right. Tom Benderwald says it looks good. Patty says it's blurry.
That was in the beginning, and it looks like it's sharp now. So it goes back and forth. You're starting to get blurry again. It's strange. Got any storms down there?
No, but okay. This will drive me crazy now. It's not supposed to be like this.
Come on, it's like a Grateful Dead show, warts and all.
Right?
We're talking about 1967. There was no digital, so.
And we're still waiting for Lou to come on. So, you know what I'm going to do? I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it to you, buddy.
What's that? No, don't cut me.
I'm not cutting you. I'm gonna hit a refresh, which
Okay.
might take me off the screen. So the show is yours for about, I don't know, 60 seconds. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Hold on. Reload. I'm gonna reload it, so I'm going off the screen.
I guess it's time to advertise the Music Relish Show with my friend Perry and my friend Lou. We discuss opera. We have fun.
How am I now?
You look better. You look fine. Yeah.
Looks better?
Yep. And I just advertised my podcast.
Is that the opera?
I'll pay you. I'll give you the money later on. Yeah.
Oh, then I lose my, this is like, okay, here we go.
No, you look better though.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. You know me, I the technical stuff drives me crazy, especially, it's not only sound, it has to be, this is a live stream, so it has to look good.
And you don't want to drop out in the middle of the show.
No.
Like me and Lou do once in a while.
Right. Let's see. Is the chat working? Let's see. Now I'm not seeing any comments. So let me try this.
Well,
sorry to the podcast listeners, but I got to get this shit right.
Hey, it's okay.
I should be seeing comments because people have already made 3 comments. We go over here.
Maybe they're bored and they don't want to comment anymore.
No, it's there. It should be showing up on my screen over here, right?
We know.
Busting my balls. You busting my balls? Busting my balls?
Only Bono does that.
Let's see. It's public, so it should be getting. I don't know. This is crazy. 7 minutes in, and we haven't done anything yet. Let me see. Comment. Test. Send.
I just sent a text too. Message.
I see yours. I see mine. Okay. Good.
We're good.
We're good. Let me switch over to my other account and do the same thing. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's just our audience is bored. They don't want to comment.
Actually, this is all Lou's fault.
Yeah. Always the drummer.
Fault.
Always the drum. Oh, sorry, Tommy.
You know why we probably lost the comments is because I rebooted. So, All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna start without Lou.
Now you're gonna go over what happened in that year.
Right as I say that, does he have? What does he have on his nose? What do you? Let's get the full screen here. He got the dog nose.
Is that why you were late? You had to clean your nose?
And he's back in Paris again.
You brown noser.
I've been a bad dog.
I
forgot my laptop.
And he's back in Paris. You're in Paris. You must have left it back in the United States.
I did. I left it on the plane. It was insane.
How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Well, I just had a little technical difficulty, and we blamed you because you weren't here. So,
Yeah, you left me alone, and I had to talk opera with myself, Lou.
Talked opera. Yeah.
Rigoletto? Did you talk about Rigoletto this time?
I'm just really boring, I'm like...
All right. You know what? This is why this is a 2.5 hour podcast.
Yeah. Some of us have to work tomorrow.
All right, here we go.
Goes.
Let's jump right into 1967 musical events in 1967. And the year kicks off right away with a bomb. On January 4th, the Doors released arguably one of the greatest debut records ever.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably, if you had a top 25 greatest debut albums, that would have to be in the top 10.
Yes.
It would have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you had a top 50, that would have to be in the top 10. Right?
Even if you don't like them, you have to say that was so ahead of its time.
Oh,
Just so different. Nothing out there was like
Still
that.
sounds
drop
great.
the needle and all you hear is it kicks. I mean, fucking what a way to start an album.
And it's a
Kicks off
heavy
with
song.
with a bossa nova beat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty clever.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was 67, so bossa nova was pretty hip.
Again, John Densmore, underrated, underappreciated, I think.
Absolutely. You are so correct.
You know, never gets the consideration. Never. I don't know. You can't put him in greatest of all time, but he could be okay if there's a top 25 drummer, top 25 drummers. Is he in it?
Good question. And
in rock, we'll just say in rock.
I think he could be. I could see him making some. I don't know if he's a universal pick, but I could see him on some list. I mean, he's somebody you'd have to think about. Like you said, like it doesn't get noticed so much, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, although his drumming wasn't shy. I mean, he was jazzy as hell. I heard Riders on the Storm yesterday.
And his adjustments.
The whole playing is great.
In his adjustments during the shows, just for that.
Yeah.
The unpredictability of, you know, how the song was going to go. Right? Because they could rehearse it all they want. Once Morrison got into that zone, well, and the drummer keeps the beat, right?
Yeah.
The drummer has to stay up with that.
Yeah.
And play to the clown, so to speak.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
And my problem is if some of the clowns don't have the beat, you know, at one point they've got to give in. Like I said, Morrison or even Dylan, they'll set the tone, but they've got to be steady themselves. You know, otherwise it's just erratic. But a guy like Densmore, I mean, he had skill. He had a lot of technical ability, great feel.
Yes.
Cool sound. I always thought his drums always sounded good.
Yeah.
On the early records, even 3 years worth of music, whatever, however long they were.
Guess that would be who produced him. Jack Holtzman was the producer. Did a good job.
Was it Jack Holtzman?
Or no?
Wait,
so.
No, was it Paul Rothschild?
Yes. I'm sorry. Holtzman was.
He owned the record company.
Yeah.
Was that Chrysalis or Chrysalis? I think, right?
Chrysalis.
Electra.
Yes.
I thought it was
Electra.
Weren't they on Chrysalis though? Also,
I thought they were.
Yeah, maybe Chrysalis
Pop.
was a subsidiary, but
yeah.
Jack Holtzman's son is Adam Holtzman. He's a keyboardist right now. He plays with, here we go, Stephen Wilson. But he does a little blog on Facebook, and he talks about growing up, and he was like 6 years old, and his father brought him to a club to see the Doors.
Wow.
At 6 years old, and he just talks about
Six.
it's a great little blog.
Wow.
So
all right, and 4 days later, on January 8th, Elvis Presley turned 32. January 14th, the human be-in, right? The human B-E-I-N,
Right.
human being, takes place in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park Polo Fields with spoken words. Ugh. From Timothy Leary, Allen Ginsberg, Gary Snyder, and others. Live music was provided by Jefferson Airplane, The Grateful Dead, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and Quicksilver Messenger Service. Speeches from Jerry Rubin and others were also given at the event.
well, there was one band there I liked.
Yeah. Quicksilver Messenger Service?
Who was it?
Yeah, who was he? On January 15th, 1967.
Who was your favorite poet of all of them?
I know you're not asking me.
Arthur Rimbaud, who influenced Jim Morrison.
Good answer. Good answer. Way to bring that first opening segment full circle.
We're getting better, Scott. We're getting better.
You're getting better. No, you guys are getting a lot of good, trust me, I'm getting a lot of good feedback. So let's keep it at that. I don't want you starting to ask for more money. And
We were going to ask you that.
Anyway. On January 15th, 1967, the Rolling Stones appear on the Ed Sullivan Show. At Ed Sullivan's request, finish it.
He asked them to let's spend some time together. Is that the one?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
And then he told him to have a really big shoe.
Lou, I hate to do this, buddy.
I mean, I come back on
penalty box.
He beat my record.
I couldn't. Look, he just got on the show after late, and he's already, look, he's stuck. He's frozen. Look at.
Oh, he was
frozen.
with you.
Put the dog nose back on. Where'd it go?
You threw it at the camera.
I did.
Like your headphones.
On January 16th, 1967, the Monkees begin work on Headquarters, the first album to give them complete artistic and technical control over their material, and it was fucking horrible. Fucking horrible. What were they thinking? You know what they were thinking? Their egos got too big. They thought they were the music.
Well, yeah, the argument can be made that, Mike Nesmith did write different drum. For the Stone Ponies. So he could write songs, but I don't think he was a pop songwriter.
No. But didn't Headquarters, didn't they try to be all fucking like 60-ish and shit? They weren't looking for pop, were they?
They were trying to be like more psychedelic.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They were channeling the Beatles with those quirky little
right. Was Auntie Griselda on that?
I don't know.
Some weird shit.
I'll tell you what, though.
I don't care about it myself, but
there was surely a harpsichord on it because that's what all those records had. They had to have a harpsichord, right?
Yeah. I have the book. The 100 best-selling records of the '60s. The Monkees they had quite a few albums on there.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they were huge.
They were, but I mean, I thought it was just a condensed period of the show, which it probably was, but it's still. I mean, they've got. I think most of their albums sold really well.
Yeah.
Did you like the show? The Monkees. Did you like the Monkees? The show?
I did.
Yeah,
I still
cool.
like it. I still love it. I love that's so that humor is great, like dumbed down, brilliantly done though. Humor.
Yeah.
The way they were supposed to act like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no like these guys are bad actors. They knew exactly how to do that, and they pulled it off great.
Mm-hmm.
It was campy. It was great for its time. It's still great to watch now.
Yeah, I do think the Banana Splits were a better band.
Yeah, I'll give you the Banana Splits were a kick-ass band. Yeah. Kick-ass band. Did you see the movie recently came out? It's a horror movie with the Banana Splits. The Banana Splits movie.
No.
It's a horror movie, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it takes place in an amusement park, and they're robotic and dicing and slicing, baby. Dicing and slicing.
I have to say, oh man, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, dicing and slicing. It's good. It's again campy movie, but I couldn't not watch it.
Yeah, I have to see it. I'm sure Flegel is a total psychopath in it.
Well, I'm not gonna give you any and no spoilers here. No spoilers here. Just dicing and slicing. On January 17th, 1967, the Daily Mail newspaper reports 4,000 potholes in Blackburn, Lancashire, and Guinness heir Tara Brown is killed in a car wreck. These articles inspire lyrics for
A Day in the Life.
A Day in the Life, yes. On January 22nd, 1967, Simon and Garfunkel give a live concert at Philharmonic Hall in New York City. Some of this concert is released on October 4th, 1997 on their box set Old Friends, but most is not released until July 2002. Wow. Some more. Okay, January 29th, Mantra Rock Dance, the quote ultimate high of the hippie era, is organized at the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco, featuring Janis Joplin, Grateful Dead, Big Brother and the Holding Company,
3 for 3,
Moby Grape.
Quirky. Yeah, that would have been interesting. That's the best bands. That's the best band so far. Yeah. They're almost like the MC5 kind of. I think they were just kind of, but they're a San Francisco band.
And beat poet once again, Allen Ginsberg shows up to do his spoken word.
I heard he was a member of NAMBLA.
I wouldn't doubt it.
The National Association of Marlon Brando Lookalikes. I heard. I read where he was a sponsor of NAMBLA. But anyway.
January 30th, 1967, the Beatles shoot a promotional film for their forthcoming single Strawberry Fields Forever at Knoll Park in Seven Oaks.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it. I haven't seen it in a long time, though.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of dark.
Speaking of dark, on February 3rd, 1967, UK record producer Joe Meek murders his landlady and then commits suicide by shooting himself in the head at Holloway North in London. That's kind of dark.
Didn't he produce Sleepwalk?
Yeah.
He let her Telstar some early.
We talked about him on our show.
We did. He's a bit of a genius, really. But
let's see. February 7th, Mickey Dolenz. No, let me stop. February 6th, Mike Nesmith and Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees fly into London. Dolenz sees Till Death Do Us Part on British TV and uses the term Randy Scouse Grit from the program for the title of the Monkees' next single release, Randy Scouse Grit. Not releasing it is an offensive term. British censors forced the title to be changed to alternate title. And then the next day, Mickey Dolenz meets Paul McCartney at his home in St. John's Wood in London. They pose together for the press, his impressions of the visit and the lyrics of Randy Scouse Grit. Whatever the fuck that is.
I wonder what kind of insult or what kind of...
I don't know. February 10th, Abbey Road Studio 2 session with Mike Nesmith in attendance as the Beatles record A Day in the Life with the London Philharmonic Orchestra performing an Orgasm of Noise featured twice in the song. That must have been quite a session to sit in on.
Lucky Mike Nesmith.
It's like one of those Brian Wilson sessions.
I saw a thing about that and how they got that orchestra noise. And it's just that huge. It just gets bigger and bigger and noisier. And yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Tons of reverb.
Oh, yeah. February 12th, British police raid Redlands, the Sussex home of Keith Richards, in the early hours of the morning on a tip about a party from the News of the World. Although no arrests were made at the time, Richards, Mick Jagger, and art dealer Robert Fraser are subsequently charged with possession of drugs. Like, what did they charge them later? My friend Tiffany. My friend Tiffany Van. She just joined the podcast.
Hello.
It's my buddy. Let's see. February 14th, Aretha Franklin records Respect, 1967, at the New York-based Atlantic Studios. That's
huge.
That's the song, right?
Yeah.
Respect or chain? What is it? Chain of Love? Chains of Love?
Chain of Fools.
Chain of Fools. Yeah.
Train of Fools.
Is it train? Chain. I don't know.
I'll check.
And then 2 days later, Aretha Franklin Day is declared in Detroit, Michigan. We see February 24th, the Bee Gees signed a management contract with Robert Stigwood. On March 2nd, the 9th annual Grammy Awards are held in Los Angeles, hosted by Kirk Douglas. Frank Sinatra wins the most awards with 5, including Album of the Year for A Man and His Music and Record of the Year for Strangers in the Night. The Beatles win Song of the Year for Michelle, My Belle.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? March 3rd, Eric Burdon and the Animals. Very, very, very underrated band. Never gets the respect they deserve.
Yep.
And him as a singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belted that stuff out, man.
He did. For a little guy.
Yeah.
For a little guy, he had a big voice.
I love what he did with War.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Eric Burdon and the Animals refused to perform a show in Ottawa, Ontario, unless they are paid in advance. The audience of 3,000 riots, causing 5,000 in damages to the auditorium. I don't think they got paid.
They're paying.
I don't think I'm right in saying they didn't get paid. But they got their piece of flesh, as they say, right?
Pound of flesh.
Pound of flesh. On March 11th, 1967, a taped appearance by the Beatles on American Bandstand includes their new music video for the song Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever. On March 25th, 1967, The Who performed their first concert in the United States in New York. On March 27th, what's that?
They still weren't big in America at that point.
No.
That's late.
They didn't break until Tommy.
I was going to say, 1967, the Beatles had already been coming over here for 4 years. Yeah.
Yep. And they couldn't.
Yeah.
But it's even still like up until, when Tommy came out? 69?
Yeah.
Oh, Todd Sockman. He's back.
Tell Todd you missed the dog nose. I was wearing a dog nose, so so much entertainment.
It says entertainment. 1967, the year I was born. That's okay, and good for you. Happy birthday, Todd. Happy birthday.
Oh, so me and Todd are younger than you. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to
Well, there's only one person older than me on this podcast.
In 67, I was roommating with Al Gore and Ryan O'Neal.
Inventing the internet.
We're in college. Yeah, I'll say, guys, I got this idea.
Okay.
We'll put it in a
I got this idea. Yeah.
Let's see. March 27th, 67, John Lennon to Paul McCartney awarded the Ivor Novello Award for Michelle, the most performed song in Britain in 1966.
That's a weird award. I looked it up one time. I forgot what it is. Like, who is Ivor Novello?
So the Ivor Novello, he was a Welsh actor and dramatist, singer and composer. Became the most popular British entertainers the first half of the 20th century. Yeah. Yeah. The Beatles posed with the photograph on March 30th, photographic collage and wax figures at Madame Tussauds' famous museum. The cover work of
Sgt. Pepper.
There you go.
I've been to Madame Tussauds.
Have you really?
It's cool. Yeah, it's fun.
It's a wax museum.
Some of them don't look like anybody. It's really weird. Yeah. But the Brian Wilson was not. He's not in the exhibit. He's sitting in the lobby in a chair with headphones on. It's weird. It looks like a dead body sitting there.
Best wax museum I ever been to is in Salem, Massachusetts, and it's all the monsters.
Oh, I would love to see
it. Was so cool. It's not a big place, right? It's not a big place, but they tell you, no pictures. No pictures. So I go in there, of course, and I'm trying to get a little sneak. And like out of nowhere, dude comes from behind a curtain. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Like, I'm in a monster museum, and you're coming out from behind curtains, buddy? People get punched for that. Like, what are you doing?
Igor Novello.
And I was like, I didn't take a picture. Spontaneous utterance. I didn't take a picture.
I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Well, you're worse than Larry Mullen sitting on Elvis's motorcycle.
Let's see. What else do we have? Kicking on March 31st, kicking off a tour with the Walker Brothers, Cat Stevens and Engelbert Humperdinck at the Astoria, London. Jimi Hendrix sets fire to his guitar on stage for the first time. Unfortunately, he's taken to the hospital suffering burns to his hands. Yeah. Oh, that didn't go accordingly. The guitar burning act would later become a trademark of Hendrix performances. So let's see.
He didn't do this quick enough, like he did.
Yeah, like he did at the. Was that the
Isle of Wight?
Isle of Wight. Yeah, when he's kneeling over it and he's doing this. Yeah, he knows how to keep his hands away.
Get the timing.
Pete Townsend smashing guitars.
Yeah.
Right. Jimi Hendrix is like, yeah. Oh yeah. Watch what I do. I'm gonna light mine on fire.
But
beat that.
Both of them down the road regretted it because the audience was like demanding it. So they both, like, I've read both said, geez, I got to smash a guitar time. Like, they got tired of it. And Hendrix too, he was like, oh, I can't keep doing this,
Yeah.
We keep raising the bar, The
first time Pete Townsend did it, it was a guitar that he had bought at a guitar store somewhere in London. And he did it. And evidently, as the story goes, the next morning, the store opens. He runs in the store, just grabs another guitar and says, I'll pay you later, and like runs out with it. Like, because I just smashed mine last night. I need a guitar. I'll get you later. The guy's like, what the fuck?
And they were so in debt over that shit. They owed money up the
hotel bills they had to pay.
Yeah. Let's see. May 1st, 1967, Paul McCartney reveals that all four members of the Beatles have dropped acid.
Ooh.
No.
What year are we talking about again?
67.
67. Right.
Oh, you don't say.
That shit was around then?
Oh, my Lord. Acid? What?
I wouldn't know. I wasn't born yet.
Did you ever do that shit, Lou?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm scared to. Never. I would never.
I'm not going to ask Mark. I looked right at you, Lou. I know you did. If you said no, I'd call you a fucking liar.
I was never. Quick story.
We got 2.5 hours or 3, whatever.
this next to last time, I only did it 3 times. The second time, a friend of mine went driving, Mark, up in Tweed Mountain.
Oh, Tweed, right by me, 5 minutes from me.
Right, I'm driving. It's it's really foggy out. It was surreal looking to begin with. Anyway, we're driving. We look around the bank and we see a car down a ravine upside down, and lights were on. So we went out. I'm like, someone might be in there. So my friend Rob wouldn't go down. So I went down. I had to kind of clamber down this little thing.
And you're tripping. Tripping.
And I had to look inside the car. I'm like, is there a head hanging? Nobody in there. So I come back up and I see this. We see this guy staggering down the road, and it's fog and light. He's Japanese and he speaks no English. He's gibbering and
you're tripping.
And I'm tripping, and the cops show up. I had to give a statement. I'm like, hadn't been drinking, which is good, but I'm like, I told him what happened, and we're just going out for a drive, and I gotta go home.
So you gave him a statement while you were tripping.
Yeah.
And you were able to do that functionally.
Yeah. I talked to my friend about that. Yeah, we reconnected. I knew him way back when, 4 or 5 years ago. He came down on his way to go to the Moog Museum. He's a synth guy. And we talked about that story. He goes, I wouldn't go down there. But it was fun though.
Now, just to add a little mystical background to that, Tweed is a tiny little state park in suburbia. It's a mountain. Used to be an army barracks. It was like they were training there. So when you walk through Tweed, you find these old buildings,
those old bunkers.
This is in New Jersey,
New York, right over the border, along the Hudson River. And there's also old missile silos because during the Cold War, it was to protect Manhattan. So I can never find it, but we used to actually party in the old missile silos. There's tunnels under the ground. It's a fascinating place.
It's a cool place.
But what Lou's saying is, you're driving on these roads, and you got these. To this day, there's no protection. You got these sheer drops. So
why we went up there, I don't know. I was 20, probably 20, maybe 20 years old.
I could step out now, drive over there, drive back in like 20 minutes.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it wasn't that far away.
Yeah. So
also on May 1st, Elvis Presley marries Priscilla Beaulieu at the Aladdin in Las Vegas. On May 2nd, 1967, the Capitol Records pulls the plug on the Beach Boys' mysterious Smile project. Brian Wilson, who's taken more than a year to compose and produce the album, cannot bring himself to finish it. Interesting. What's the backstory there, Lou?
He was losing it.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on, it's funny. He out-survived them all, the brothers,
Right.
But it was just difficulty, and it was a lot of drugs. That was the start of his whole period. But they put out Heroes and Villains. That was in '67. That was supposed to be the next big follow-up to Good Vibrations. It flopped. It flopped like River D Mountain High flop, with Argentina and Phil Spector. It's an interesting song, but it's a little too esoteric, I think, from what he expected of it. Good song though. But they put an album called Smiley Smile. It's got some outtakes on it. One of the most stupid songs in the world called Vegetables.
Yeah.
It's Paul McCartney came and played bass on it actually, but it's I'm gonna eat my vegetables. I love you most of all my vegetables. It's just it's stupid.
So I got a call the other day from one of my really, really good friends, Dave Rios. He's a fan of the podcast. And he's all caught up. And I said, so what do you think of Mark and Lou? And he goes, dude, I loved when you and Jack would fight. I said, everybody loved me and Jack fighting. I know that. I said, Mark, and he says, no, they're really good. They're really good. It's just, sometimes like they go a little too deep for me. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm learning. He's like, I'm learning.
He doesn't want it. Okay.
But no, he likes it. But he's like, huh? like the dog looking at the phonograph, huh?
Don't go too deep. That's what she said. Ha.
Oh. You know what that means, buddy. You know what that means. Penalty box.
Yeah, really. Okay.
He's in the penalty box. It's 1-1.
My earlier.
It's 1-1. He's just sitting back, lounging. I'm going to go through one, then I'll bring him back up.
You know what they with the Beach Boys Smile? I think they actually reissued something, or Brian Wilson did some documentaries. All that original album being put out the way it was. I think. But
what's he doing?
He looks belligerent.
He's looking at his Buddha.
He's got a Buddha.
It's Yoda.
It's Yoda. Buddha. Yoda.
It's Boda.
Ends in an
Woda.
Let's see. On May 15th, 67, Paul McCartney meets American photographer Linda Eastman at a club called Bag O' Nails. Then on the 19th, Linda Eastman photographs Paul McCartney, photographs the Beatles at the London press party for Sgt. Pepper's, held at Chapel Street, home of
Where the
Brian
hell did she
Epstein.
get the film from?
Media present are perplexed by the band's fashion statement and the music itself. Little did they know. Like, what are they wearing? What is this music? No, buddy, this isn't Love Me Do, okay?
Yeah.
It's a whole nother Beatles you're about to see.
No more suits.
In the media. You know what? I still go back to this. When Bruce Springsteen released Nebraska, they were all up his ass, saying it's a money grab, it's cheap, and the E Street Band was pissed because he boxed them out of that one, and he recorded it in his basement,
Right.
and it was all acoustic, and
Well,
I liked it right from the beginning,
Yeah.
but
I call the Jersey Shore fans didn't like it.
no,
Yeah,
the critics are like, oh, what is this? What is it?
I never read a critical
album.
review in its time. Yeah, wow, yeah,
Great album.
he knew. I mean, why would he put out a cassette recording? And this wasn't even recorded in a studio proper. Why would he put it out if he didn't think it was really good?
Yeah. Well, somebody told him it was good, and he listened, even if he thought it was just him, it's just demos. Because that's what they originally were. They were demos.
Yeah.
Right. May 26th, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles is rush released in the UK as mono and stereo LPs ahead of the scheduled June 1st release date. The closest Western civilization has come to unity since the Congress of Vienna in 1815 was the week Sgt. Pepper's album was released.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. That's
huge.
a great way to put it.
It was huge.
Yeah.
There was something for everybody on that record, really.
Certainly was.
Yeah.
Certainly was. And as legend has it, it was the retort to Pet Sounds.
Yeah. And, even though was it Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields were recorded then, it released as other singles. Who had the hit off Sgt. Pepper? There was a song got a lot more airplay than the others off Sgt. Pepper.
Okay, let's see.
With a little help from my friends.
I think so.
Yeah. Ringo.
Ringo had the hit. Ringo had the big hit. I mean, Day in the Life got a lot of play. I mean, all the songs got play, but Little Help My Friends was like a single. I don't think it wasn't released as such, though.
And I've said it before, that the lyrics were changed. Ringo demanded that the lyrics be changed.
Oh, really? Oh.
What would I do if I sang you a tune? Would you throw a tomato at me? Was the original. And he said, fuck that, Jack.
Was it really?
Yeah. He said, no fucking way. They're going to throw shit at me. If I sing this, he did. He said, they're going to throw shit at me. Yeah. No.
Throw a tomato at me.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
he changed. He said it has to be changed. So it was, would you stand up and walk out on me?
So who wrote that lyric, Paul or John?
Probably Ringo.
Well, no, the tomato thing is. I
the
like
tomato lyric.
I think it was mostly a Paul song. I think.
Right.
The main
Well, they
part.
both had that sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
See, I know things.
You know things.
I know stuff.
They were funny, those Beatles. Their outtakes are great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul's broken a glass, broken a glass. What was that?
You Know My Name. Look up the number.
Yep.
June 16th, Barbara Streisand performs a live concert happening in Central Park. Right? June 16th through the 18th, 1967. This is it, right? This is a big one. The Monterey Pop Festival, one of the world's first outdoor rock music festivals, is held in Monterey, California. Stars include The Who, Simon and Garfunkel, Eric Burden and the Animals, The Byrds, The Association, Jefferson Airplane, Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin. Right?
Yeah,
That's when it started.
Yep.
That's when the record company was like, nah, we got to push her.
Divide and conquer.
We got to push that dude. He is the lead singer of the band. We got to.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
We got to push him. And Jimi Hendrix, Otis, and the MGs take the stage at 1 a.m. after Jefferson Airplane and bring the house down.
Otis has said it's great.
55,000 are estimated to be in attendance. Ravi Shankar is among the performers at the festival. And who is his daughter?
Nora Jones.
Nora Jones. Yes. Yeah.
Who my daughter saw the other night playing piano with Willie Nelson.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a great debut album also.
Yeah.
She just never, she was hot in the 90s and then just kind of.
Does her thing.
Kind of like a Fiona Apple, right?
Yeah.
She was part of the post 9/11 chill out. Like, people everyone was pretty much wound up, but that record came out and a lot of people, they basically chilled out to it.
Yeah. Let's see. June 1967. In 1967, during his stay in California on a houseboat in Sausalito. You know where this is going. I've said this. This is. He was on a houseboat, Sausalito. What am I talking about? In 67, he was listening to the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's.
Brian Wilson.
Nope.
Charles Manson.
Nope. Inspired to compose.
Houseboat.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Oh.
It was written in Sausalito, Otis Redding.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
You stumped the professor.
I know things. I'm not just a handsome host here. I know things too. I'm not just a big personality here with all the mechanisms. I know things.
Don't get too deep on us, okay?
Oh, buddy, you want me to go deep? I'll go deep.
Do it.
I'll show you, Professor.
Keeping my mouth shut.
And my friend Dave Rios actually said that. He goes, I said, I mentioned Lou. He goes, the Professor. So it's catching on, buddy. Catching on.
I like it.
Yeah.
I live up to a mantle.
So to wind that up on June 19th, Otis Redding on a houseboat in Sausalito. I told you the Sausalito story. I loved Sausalito. I visited a friend of mine in Sausalito, in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. Takes us over the bridge to Sausalito. Fucking loved it. This is the coolest fucking place. Like, just the vibe, the feel, the boats, the hills. It's fucking great. Art galleries, just really not bohemian, but just kind of chill, right? Yeah. I liked it so much. I went, like I said, we got to go back here. So he took us back like a couple of days later. So we leave. This is my first wife, God rest her soul. We leave and come back, and I said, if I could live anywhere in the United States, I'd live in Sausalito. I always said that, right? So fast forward, I meet my now wife. We buy a house here in Boca on Sausalito Drive.
That's right.
I said I should have been a little more specific.
It's all called synchronicity, right?
It's all secret. It's something. I should have been more specific, though.
Right.
Or more Pacific, since we're talking about Sausalito. Right?
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. See, I'm on a roll tonight, guys.
Let me go.
Yeah, let me go. Let me go. Cut me loose. So on June 25th, 1967, the Beatles debut, All You Need Is Love. All You Need Is Love. To close our world television special from London.
A satellite broadcast.
Yep, the first worldwide television broadcast. Seen live by an audience of over 400 million in 25 countries.
That must have been so exciting.
Well, considering the backup singers included Eric Clapton, members of the Rolling Stones, and The Who. Yeah. But there was a whole shitload of people there, I believe.
And if I recall, if you look at Mick Jagger in that video, I don't know. Everyone dropped acid. He looks like he's tripping. He's just like smiling.
He looked like Lou coming up onto a car accident.
Oh my God,
Lou, maybe the guy that was speaking English and you were just
you were tripping balls, and you just thought he was speaking Japanese.
It was all.
Maybe he was tripping too, and his eyes were like. I'm not gonna. That starts to get a little racial.
It was. Actually, I'm playing. All You Need Is Love this Sunday.
Cool. Nice.
It's on the menu, music menu. Yeah.
Excellent.
Synchronicity.
June 28th, 1967, the Supremes perform for the first time as
Diana Ross.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Divide and conquer.
They saw that dude, Janis Joplin, go in front of the holding company. They were like, that dude ain't going to outdo us. We're not going to let that dude outdo us. We're going to put Diana up front. Yeah. She's a bigger star.
Dirty Diana.
And they did it at the Flamingo Hotel in Vegas. Florence Ballard is fired from the group after the first night. And on-hand stand-in, Cindy Birdsong, permanently takes Ballard's place in the group. Wow.
Because she probably argued about the change.
Got to be a story there. Yeah. On that same day, the Monkees fly into London and start their concerts at Empire Pool, Wembley. And everybody listened to their album and was like, what? No, where's the last train? Where's the last train?
Play Valerie.
Valerie, yeah. Nikki, play the tambourine. No, that's Davey. Davey, play the tambourine.
Have you heard any Mickey Dolenz' latest music?
No, and I probably never will.
YouTube or Google him doing Good Morning by the Beatles on acoustic guitar.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I'll take your word for it. All right.
He sounds great. His voice sounds great.
Yeah.
He was a good singer.
He was. You know what? He was. Yep. I give him credit because he had longevity after the group. He had that unique kind of look. Yeah. You know, he had a weird look, like he was quirky personality. Yep. So he kind of stuck around after that whole thing faded.
Well, he was a child actor. He was,
Yes, he was, yeah.
How about Davy Jones did a lot of that too. I always thought he was just like, icing,
That's all he was.
Yeah. He had the twinkly eyes with the girl across the room, that kind of thing.
And thanks to Davy Jones from the Monkees, we ended up with David Bowie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because he said, there's already a Davy Jones out there. Why am I going to be Davy Jones? And I got the other British Davy Jones.
The guy that has
Not to mention the pirate Davy Jones who's stuck in a locker at the bottom of the ocean. Arr. Arr. June 29th, 1967, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards are sentenced to jail for drug possession. No.
Jail.
No.
Now, I believe the Beatles recorded a single to help raise funds or something. There's a very rare single out there. Yeah.
They later appealed successfully against the sentence. Of course they did.
Yeah.
They recorded What's the New Mary Jane, right?
Let's see. Let's move on. On July 2nd, 1967, Jeff Beck and John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, perform a 2-hour Sunday special at the Seville Theatre in London.
That was the wrong guitarist for the Blues Breakers. He couldn't play blues.
Yeah. Let's see. These two kept a lot of interaction here. July 3rd, 1967, the Beatles host a party at the Speakeasy Club for the Monkees on the completion of their concerts in London. Yeah.
See, it's neat to see that they were so supportive of the Monkees. Mickey Dolenz was in the session. That's weird.
Yeah.
They have the Monkees TV show was patterned after.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They're our American Beatles.
July 5th, 67, first of the Schaefer Music Festivals held in Central Park, New York. The lineup consists of Len Chandler, the Young Rascals, and the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Who was the first man?
Len Chandler.
What's that?
Len. I wonder who the first name was. Len Chandler.
Oh, Len Chandler. Yeah. Okay. July 18th, 67, the Jimi Hendrix Experience is thrown off a tour with the Monkees. The Monkees are dominating 67.
Yeah, the little girls didn't like his hip thrusts, and people saw that as a little weird.
After complaints from the conservative Daughters of the American Revolution. Oh, those damn conservatives.
Those daughters, they would know a good
Come
time.
on, Mark, here's your choice. Here's your chance, buddy. You got free shots.
Nah. I just think it's funny. You had these little girls, and what Jimmy was doing? He was just doing the hip thrust, the tongue, and everything. Man.
Yeah. Let's see. After the Daughters, Hendrix manager Chris Chandler later admits it was a publicity stunt. Okay. Good job. July 29th, 67, Motown Records releases Reflections, the first single by the group's new billing. Reflections of the way life used to be.
That's Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Lou. I knew it. I was waiting for Lou.
So after the firing, founding member Florence Ballard, she nevertheless sings on the record and appears on the vinyl's cover alongside group members Ross Wilson because the song was recorded before her dismissal.
Wow.
So they had to put her in there.
Hope she got paid.
I'm sure she did. Well, you never know.
Did she like fade to like obscurity and like no money? You know?
Lawrence Ballard, yeah. August 5th, Pink Floyd released their debut album.
Saucer Full of Secrets.
Nope.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Yes. Peaked at number 6 on the UK. That's the Pink Floyd that no one really listens to. It's like strange. Pink Floyd is like the original Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Right?
When I was young, I hated those first 2 albums. But when you're older and you listen to that song Lucifer, and you're like, you know what, they were really doing something. But it's just too strange.
Cool. It was like I said, they would have become just another psychedelic band.
Yeah.
If Gilmore hadn't come along.
Right.
Let's see. August 23rd, Brian Epstein's last visit to a Beatles recording session at the Chapel Recording Studios in Maddox Street, London. The last new Beatles song he lived to hear was Your Mother Should Know. Epstein died of an overdose of carbitrol, a form of barbiturate or sleeping pill, in his locked bedroom. I thought he got murdered.
No, there was...
Wasn't there a rumor that he got murdered?
It was. Albert
like
Goldman.
Brian Jones. Yeah.
Remember the author Albert Goldman? He wrote the big trash book on Elvis, but he did a one called Lennon. It was just, I got 20, 30 pages in. I put it down. It was just one inflammatory thing. He basically insinuated that Robert Stigwood had Brian Epstein killed so he could take over the Beatles.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think they thought it was a suicide, but I think it was ruled accidental. I think.
Yeah.
From what I've heard about Robert Stigwood, if it was proven true, I wouldn't be surprised. But
really,
why would he do that? That's just stupid, you know?
Well, he didn't get the Beatles. I mean,
no.
But what was that studio they were at again?
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Let me see. It was
Charles
Beatles at Chapel Recording Studios on Maddox Street in London.
Oh, wow! Interesting.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
They cheated.
September 17th, the Doors appear on the Ed Sullivan Show and perform Light My Fire. Despite having agreed to Sullivan's request that the line, girl, we couldn't get much higher, be changed for the show, Morrison performs it the way it was written. And the Doors are banned from the show forever.
Not before Ed Sullivan said, have a really big shoe.
There you go. Bye-bye. 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 He's in the penalty box.
I think he said F you.
Did you hear that? As he was leaving, I thought he gave me a big fuck you. I think he did.
This whole the Caesar thing is getting to his head. I think
Lou's never been in the penalty box this much. He came on fired up today. All right, he's back. Also on September 17th.
We're supposed to have more drama and less depth.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You want a bare knuckle? Also
on that day, September 1767, the Who destroyed their instruments during a performance. Wow. No.
Again?
But this one is epic, though. This is the epic destruction.
Smothers Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keith Moon's exploding drum kit injures Pete Townsend, basically made him deaf in one ear forever. Like, he put in like 5 M80s or something. It was supposed to only be one.
And if you watch the movie, it's in the Who movie, you hear the audience screaming. They're like, wow.
That was it. It was like, and Townsend was right next to it. You see him just fucking flinch, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What was with the Smothers Brothers?
What's that?
You mentioned the Smothers Brothers.
It was on their show.
It was on the Smothers show. Okay.
Their show, yeah.
What's the name of the Who movie? The Kids Are All Right?
Kids Are All Right, yeah.
Lou, if you watch it, it's
I've seen it. I've seen it.
And then Tommy smashes his guitar as a joke. You know, he comes out and smashes it.
September 29th, 67, Tangerine Dream is founded by Edgar Fries in West Berlin.
I wonder what they sounded like in 67.
I don't know.
Lots of Hammond organ and harpsichord.
October 14th, 67, Tammy Terrell faints and collapses into duet partner Marvin Gaye's arms on stage during a performance at the Hampton University homecoming in Virginia. She's later diagnosed. This fucking sucks.
Sad, yeah.
She's later diagnosed with a brain tumor and will die from brain cancer in 3 years later at 24. That is an absolute, like, what could have been.
Yeah, their duets are great. I think Ain't No Mountain High Enough is the greatest Motown song of all time.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the greatest duets of all time.
It really is. Yeah. But Apparently, they said that's one thing that really fucked him up.
Yeah.
From that point, he never really got over her death. Depression after that,
I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at what you were talking about. Just on Todd's comment.
Yeah, Todd Sockman. Might as well just bring this fucker on the show. You might as well just have a square.
That looked horrible. I'm laughing while you're talking about a brain tumor. That was bad.
Yeah,
It's
that was kind of
Todd's fault.
classless, Mark.
I
It was
know.
kind of very
Todd's
classless.
fault.
Todd Sockman says December 25th, 1967, the Future Legion. Todd Sockman celebrates his. I'm not even in December yet, dude. You should have waited. Now I'm not going to finish it. Not going to finish that. Nope. Let's see. October 18th, 67. What just happened?
I put myself in the green room.
Oh, okay.
I can
October 18th, the first issue of Rolling Stone rolls off the press at about 5:30 p.m. with the cover dated November 9th and featuring a photo of John Lennon in the film How I Won the War. The original inspiration for the magazine was Bump, a magazine based in California, which preceded the existence of Rolling Stone. Liberal rag. Anyway,
I subscribe.
I know you do.
What was John
And Jack
Lennon's
subscribes
name in the
too.
movie?
Oh, that's a good question, Lou. That's a good trivia question.
What was the question?
What was John Lennon's character's name in the movie?
I don't know.
Private Gripweed.
Okay.
Sounds like MASH.
On November 22nd, 1967, George Harrison begins recording tracks for
Wonderwall music.
There's Lou right there, buddy. Yeah.
Never have gotten that.
First solo album by a Beatle, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
His first solo album in London. He continues the recording in Mumbai. And as we all know, Oasis goes on to write Wonderwall in tribute to that album and George Harrison.
Really?
Yep, they were very inspired by the Beatles. Actually, if you listen to their music,
Sure.
there's little hints of Beatles in there.
There's big hints of Beatles in there.
Listen. I love Oasis, but they flat out ripped them off a few times.
But you know what? You know how much balls it took to do that.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Like
right.
they actually did it because
and they did it good. They did it good.
For a good
Yeah.
5-year, 6-year run, Oasis ruled the world.
Mhm, yeah.
They certainly did.
Well, they'll be back. They're going to tour.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. Let me see. December 7th, Otis Redding records overdubs to Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. He had recorded it on November 22nd. December 8th, Otis Redding and his backup band, Barcades, play a popular nightclub, Leo's Casino in Cleveland, Ohio. This is to be Redding's last performance. 2 days later, he and 4 of the 6 bar keys are among the 6 people who die when a Beechcraft Model 18 plane in which they were traveling crashes into Lake Monona in Madison, Wisconsin. One of the worst air tragedies in entertainment history and the worst since the day the music died.
One survivor of the plane crash.
Yeah. Let's see. December 9th, during a performance at the New Haven Arena in New Haven, Connecticut, Jim Morrison and the Doors becomes the first singer to be arrested on stage. Having earlier been sprayed with a can of mace. Jesus.
Backstage.
He was charged with inciting a riot, indecency, and public obscenity. The charges are dropped several weeks later due to lack of evidence. Did you know they sold out every single show they ever did?
Really?
At one point, they were the number one band in America.
You know why? People wanted to see what Jim was going to do.
Yeah.
He was creating a stir.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, yeah, the spectacle.
But every show, once that album dropped, every show after that, they sold out every show.
Well, there was no one else like them.
Nope.
There's live recordings of them at the Roxy. I think,
Yeah.
or, early.
December 15th, 67, The Who released their third studio album, The Who Sell Out.
Love that album.
It's a concept album. No.
Heinz baked beans.
They are the kings of concept albums.
Heinz
Yeah.
baked beans.
Formatted as a collection of unrelated songs interspersed with faux commercials and public service announcements.
The commercials are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's got my favorite Who song. One of my favorites. I can
That
see
is?
for miles.
Ah.
Yeah.
Great song.
Uh,
Psychedelic
December,
Who.
December 25th, Todd Sockman celebrates his first Christmas. Okay, we got it in there.
Todd, what did you get for Christmas? Your first?
I don't know. It's his first. He doesn't care. He doesn't know. He'll make. He probably got a weights.
Is that the
Probably got
last
weights.
big event for that year, Scott?
Bam
Or is
Bam
there
Rumble?
one after him? Is there one after him? Or
Oh,
is he
there's a
last?
lot after him. Trust me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not ending the year. No
Only
way.
5 days. Yeah.
No way. He's not ending the year. I would not know. I'd make something up so he doesn't end this segment. There's no fucking way I'd let that happen.
Jim
But I don't
Morrison-
have to make it up because on December 26th, the first telecast of the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour on BBC One in the UK is shown. It's shown in black and white. It upsets McCartney because it ruins the intended psychedelic color effects. They played it in black and white.
And it sucked.
I didn't like that at
They
all.
played it
Sucked.
in black and white.
Yeah, that's great.
I remember I saw it when I was young, like late at night, and I remember they're on a bus, and I'm like, "This is freaking boring." They're like
It
talking.
was yeah.
Yeah.
The best part's Lennon in the movie, I think,
Oh, okay.
and he was by far the best dancer. I know your mother should know.
I don't remember.
No,
Okay.
or whatever. There's a dance sequence, but I think he had the best moves of the Beatles.
Also finishing up this one, let me see. Perry Denham is the
Yeah,
AI.
right.
Is a script would have helped. Yeah.
Wait, let me read it like him.
It was improv.
A
Harry.
script would have helped.
I think they should
yeah.
script it.
And to end this segment, also in 1967, they don't give a date. The International Society of Bassists is found by Gary Carr. Yeah. There you go.
Look, the
Wow.
drummer shaking his head. No,
Wow.
no.
Well, back in the day, it said you know what to call a bassist with a pager? An optimist.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No, that wasn't worthy. Right.
Say bye-bye.
3 times.
Penalty box.
Wow.
He's hot with the info, horrible with the jokes.
All I know when the Canadians
Horrible.
score 3 goals, I'm happy, but I'm not happy.
Here we go. And he's back with the dog nose.
Wait. We got a December 31st here.
You entertained, Todd?
On December 31st, 1967, a baby Todd Sockman played tambourine with the Monkees at Wembley Stadium.
Wow.
I saw that. I saw that film.
You saw the video? You
It's
saw
great.
that? Yeah.
Fucking
he
thing
was
was
in rhythm.
bigger than him.
He's a little, I think he got his little weights for his Christmas, and then on New Year's Eve he's playing the tambourine. That's how strong he was. Yeah, his little baby weights. Yeah, little baby weights. Redheaded Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was.
Baby weights.
Bands that were formed in 1967.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, right. Bands that were formed in 1967. The Jeff Beck Group, right? Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Was it you, Lou, that said last week that they were considered like a second-rate Chicago?
I think Mark said that.
Was it Mark that said it?
I always
Yeah,
heard
I think
everybody
so.
say that,
Yeah.
but when I checked them out and did a deep dive, they weren't. They just
All
had
right.
the horns, you know.
Yeah.
I was just about to
Yeah.
put you in the penalty box just for saying that last week. Blood, Sweat, and Tears is a very good band. If you listen to their greatest hits, it's one of those, oh, shit.
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And the irony is that when they started, Al Cooper started the band, but then they threw him out.
Yeah. Right?
And then he got David Clayton Thomas and
The Brian Jones story, right?
yeah,
Kick him out. Also formed in 1967, Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh,
Yeah.
And was it Stony Brook College in Stony Brook, New York? Possibly the greatest rock and roll band of all time.
Blue Oyster Cult.
No,
Oh my God.
they were a great rock and roll band.
This summer they just heard that, or they're gonna hear it tomorrow driving in the car and go, what? Fuck, what? What did Lou just say?
It's not the greatest rock and roll band. Of all
No.
time. No.
Greatest song about a monster though, Godzilla.
I get that monster.
Is there a
Mash.
better song about a monster?
I'm trying to think of like anyone. They were also called Nosferatu.
Oh,
So they
look at
Yeah, that's a
Lou.
good song.
Check
Yeah.
out the brain
wow.
on Lou.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're a
the
smart
aficionado.
motherfucker. Also formed in 1967, Chicago. Yeah.
first-rate blood, sweat, and tears.
First-rate blood, sweat, and tears. So check it. They came out at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like a race to the horns. Like, who's going to be the bigger horn section,
There's
right?
a lot of horns. The grassroots at the same time.
I would think, though, that
Oh,
Blood,
boy.
Sweat, and Tears came out of the block fast, right?
Well,
And
I think the
Chicago kind of came out steady, and then they blew them away.
Well, the
eventually.
first Blood, Sweat, and Tears album was not a big thing.
Right. Okay.
But then the second record, I think, was the one that, I think Chicago right out of the chute.
Was it Chicago?
Yeah.
I think
so.
Yeah.
And they put out such a massive load of music from 69 to 73, double
Yeah.
album
Yeah,
after
yeah.
double album.
Yeah.
They were
Holy
machines.
shit.
Yeah.
Man. How'd they do that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They loved what they did. Also formed in 67, the Climax Blues Band.
Wow.
I am so into you.
That's the Leonard Rhythm section.
Oh, okay. Climax Blues Band is what is it?
Wait, are they the Scottish band?
What's their hit?
I think couldn't get it right. It couldn't get
That's
it right.
it. Yeah, I couldn't get it right. Couldn't get it right.
Good song.
And
It's, so that's kind of like Brandy and Dancing in the Moonlight. Like you get the
Yeah.
I'm so into you, and yeah.
Well, actually, Mark, what was the other song from Climax?
They say
I
I Love You was a big hit. I don't
That was a
remember that
big
song.
hit.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh, I like this one. They had a song called Mole on the Dole. I love that.
Oh.
That's great.
Okay, let's move on from Climax Blues Band.
We're getting too deep, Lou.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that like a blemish on a pineapple?
Another band formed in 67, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
They sucked.
CCR.
They sucked.
Oh, we're taping that. Someone get us.
So are they? So Lou just
No
said
talent
in a
hacks.
3-minute segment, Lou just said Blue Oyster Cult was the greatest band ever, and then he says Creedence Clearwater Revival sucked. What?
Skunks, man.
What is wrong?
You're drawing battle lines
All
there.
right, I'm sorry.
Wow.
You've got Godzilla and you've got Fortunate Son. Balance them out. Come on.
Perry
Wait 'em out.
says, "What the fuck?"
Oh, we're gonna have a good show this week, Lou. We're
Wait
gonna have a
Sunday,
really
Perry.
good show.
So
Little Sunday.
your show will be a recap of this show.
4 more days till I kick your ass, pal.
Oh shit! All right. Okay,
I'll be
I
the
got one
referee.
for you.
Referee.
I got one for you. Also formed in 67, Elf.
Oh, Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah.
I've got their album.
Can I
Yeah.
clarify
Elf.
something? Perry, you know I love CCR.
He knows you do.
Oh,
It's
did you
okay.
just
I apologize to my friend. It's still gonna 4 more days.
I
Like
don't
kick
even
your ass,
have the
pal.
heart to put you in the penalty box, and you don't ever back down, Lou.
I'm not backing down. I wasn't.
Like
Backing.
Remember
Tom
those-
Petty said, you don't back down.
Remember those old
I was
TV
ca- I was
movies when they'd
capitulating.
have the music and it would be going, "Ooh." It's like, I'm sorry, Perry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, you know who was also formed in 67? Fleetwood Mac. Well, the version no one ever listened to.
I listen to them.
I know you did.
Come on,
You got
then
it.
Play On with Oh Well. That was a great album.
Was the Bob Welch years? Was that listened to?
That was after. Yeah, they
was
got a
after-
lot more listeners with those years.
You know,
Yeah,
he's the
was
only
it?
one not inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's bullshit.
They didn't induct him with Fleetwood Mac.
No, at all. As a solo, he was
Wow.
excluded for bullshit reasons.
He wrote
was-
a few big hits for them.
He
Mystified.
did. He
uh,
held the band together between the Peter Green cultish years and
Yeah.
Stevie and Lindsay. But
and
yeah,
he was
that
just a
bullshit.
cool guy.
Yeah. But you know, he did some good stuff with them.
He pissed off Jimmy Iovine. That's what happened.
John Venner's a prick.
Yeah. He had his first solo album was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
What was it
Yeah.
called?
I don't
Is that
remember
the one where
name.
he's smoking a cigar on the cover?
No, it's the one's
Oh.
got Ebony Eyes, and
I don't know.
isn't that his first?
And Sentimental Lady.
And Sentimental Lady.
And he
yeah.
did
Was
that
he-
first
was-
with
was
Fleetwood
French
Mac.
Kiss. I think it's called French Kiss.
You are
Yes.
correct.
Yeah,
Listen, Scott is on it. You were on tonight, man.
I'm always on. I'm just too busy hosting you two fuckers.
You're like an associate professor.
Oop. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'm
Listen, I just got promoted. Mark's just an adjunct on this fucking
I'm
show.
scared.
Mark's just an adjunct.
I'm
professor.
scared of what's
Does he have
going to happen
tenure?
next, so I'm putting myself in the green room.
Oh wow, put himself in the naughty spot. Well,
Naughty,
a
naughty.
person Bob Welch sued the band.
Legal
Okay.
issues, yeah. Gee, go figure that one. A rock guy suing his band, his former band.
Be like if you were in the Eagles and you sued Don Henley, you're not going to be with them when they go into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Felder fucked up.
Formed in 1967. You dropped a bomb on me, baby. You dropped a bomb on me. Come on. The Gap Band.
Okay.
Yeah.
67. Wow.
Yeah,
maybe if we heard it.
And they didn't, they hit like 80.
Yeah.
78.
Yeah.
79, 80.
Uh-huh.
And once they hit, like they just started pumping out. I don't know what dynamic changed.
Yeah.
I think Earth, Wind and Fire formed around like the late 60s too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would think. Yeah.
But they were big in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Genesis formed in 67.
From Genesis to Revolution, their first album.
Before Phil Collins was in the band.
Yeah. That's right. And Steve Hackett.
Yeah.
The band Hourglass. What are they known for?
Oh shit.
I got you.
Were they English or American?
Come on, man. American.
Hourglass.
Yeah.
I got that Squeeze song in my head now.
Oh,
Hourglass. Take it to the bridge stage or something.
Mark, don't look it up. Are you blatantly Googling right in front
No,
of me?
I'm looking at my email, Scott. I got emails from my family.
He has no shame.
A natural thing, loving you.
Hourglass. Come on. What are they known for? Like,
I thought it just did that.
No. Dwayne and Greg Allman.
Oh, I don't know. Oh.
Peter Carr, Johnny Sandlin, and Paul Hornsby from Muscle Shows.
Didn't they back up Aretha Franklin?
Yeah.
I believe they did.
Come on.
You got me?
I thought they were a soul band.
No.
Basically were because they were backing up Aretha.
Well, yeah. I thought it was like Motown or
formed in 67, the Jay Giles Band.
I was looking at my email.
Are
you a fan of them?
Jay Giles, I like him. I like him. Dave Phillips, King of the 45s, loves them.
Yes,
I love that crazy soul shit that they did in the 70s.
They never get considered for the Hall of Fame, and they won't, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's probably a long shot.
One of those bands that's just not going to get it. They're not going to get it.
Some great songs, though.
Yeah. Great party band. I'll give them
got
that.
lost.
I think that's the thing about them. That, they weren't. They were a party band. Centerfold was was their big thing, but I don't know. I mean,
Magic Dick,
Whamma Jamma.
Yeah.
Jethro Tull.
Oh, stop!
Let me put on my fucking medieval tights.
Put on some green tights, man.
Yeah. In a fucking
puffy sleeve,
whatever, and puffy sleeve shirt, a pirate shirt, and jump around with the flute.
Not boots, but booties.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, they won the Grammy for the best metal band. They're freaking awesome.
That's legendary, right?
That's stupid.
I love Jethro.
I like some of their singles.
Formed in 67, Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
Wow.
Now this one is interesting. Formed in 1967, Nirvana.
What?
Wait a minute now.
Yeah, here we go.
An English pop rock band formed in 66, though the band achieved only limited commercial success. They were acclaimed both by music industry professionals and critics. In 85, the band reformed. The members of the band sued the American band Nirvana over usage of the name, reaching an out-of-court settlement.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much did they get? That's great.
That's right. They bought that name, buddy.
Found money, yeah.
They bought that name. Formed in 67, Procol Harum. You know what? We've never done a show on them. Probably never will. But they pop up like every other show.
So I never really followed them, but my son-in-law loves Gary Brooker and loves them. And he got me into them, and they did have a good catalog of work. They just never hit that top tier success level.
No, but they also have one of the biggest classic rock songs of all time, though.
Yeah.
Right. Robbie Robertson ripped them for that sound. He said they were ripping off the band with the keyboard. I'm like, that was a stretch.
Yeah.
I think that might be a 2-hit wonder. You know what their other big hit song was?
Conquistador.
Conquistador.
That's a great song. Great song. It's dramatic.
Also formed in 67, that great Dutch band.
No.
The great Dutch
Nazareth.
band Shocking Blue. I'm
Nazareth.
your Venus.
That's
I'm your fire. It's your desire.
I looked at the video. It was hot.
It was the original, right?
Yeah.
She had a great voice too.
Yeah, she did.
Fucking
Powerful.
Mike is doing this to me again. Jesus
Powerful
Christ. Big voice. Yeah. It's good. She's good. And of course, though, my girls. Bananarama.
Yeah.
They're my favorite girl band ever.
They did a good version too.
Love them. As a matter of fact, I think tomorrow I'm going to listen to their greatest hits album again. I love Bananarama. It's like a guilty pleasure.
You're going to be out by the pool like this.
And also formed in 67 finally, Skid Row.
All right.
An Irish blues rock
did they get
band.
out of court?
An Irish blues rock band of the late 60s and 70s. They were out of Dublin. And it was the first band that Phil Lynott played
There
in.
you go.
Oh, okay.
And Gary Moore. Yeah.
Gary Moore. Okay.
Yep.
So what is it with the bands from the 80s and 90s stealing old bands' names?
Can you think about it? Can you imagine? You know how Gary Moore, fiery guitar player. You just look at him; he's a fighter. Phil Lynott, late 60s Dublin. Like, man, that's like some rough stuff. You know,
Right.
good. They were probably really good.
They played those buckets of blood places, you know.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, give me some information. Give me some albums or give me something that came out in 67. I know you guys have some.
I got one.
Give it to me.
Francis Albert Sinatra and Antonio Carlos Jobim. That was the name of the album. It's Brazilian pop. It's got the girl from Ipanema on it, their version.
They did their little bossa nova thing.
Meditation is a great song. How Insensitive. Song I Concentrate on You. Great stuff. Really great stuff.
Yeah.
They did Baubles, Bangles, and Beads on that. They did a couple albums. But that came out in 67. Their shows, their live cuts of them are cool because just the two of them sitting in chairs. Sinatra smoking, of course.
Right.
Being frank.
Yep. What do you got, Mark? Give me an album from 67.
Another band that my son-in-law got me into, Love's Forever Changes, which had one huge song on it.
Yep.
Alone Again, or I couldn't remember the name. Great album.
Yeah.
Really good album.
I'm going to give you. I'm so mad about Saffron.
Damn it, that was on my list too. You took all my albums.
Saffron's mad about me.
Take that one off.
I'm just mad about Saffron. And she's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow. That's right, me.
Are any of you guys like into food? Like, why when I went to buy saffron, it's freaking $18 for like 2 sprigs? What the hell? It's like,
just give me a bay leaf. Just give me a fucking bay leaf.
It's usually
I put bay leaf in everything.
Jar of bay leaf. Was that an album?
Yeah, Mellow Yellow was. I believe that was the album. Yeah,
the name of the album. Okay.
Yeah.
John Paul Jones helped on that album.
Yeah. All right, your turn, Lou.
The Electric Prunes with the self-titled album, The Electric Prunes.
Okay.
I think that is one of the best band names of all time. It's you know what their hit was?
What?
I had too much to dream last night. Doom, 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 doom. Psychedelic, 1967 psychedelic rock. That's the kind of band if I wasn't in grad school at that point, I would have been in that band.
All right, Mark, give me one.
Mr. Fantasy by Traffic. I believe that was their first album, right?
Yeah.
Crap. Big.
Yeah.
You know, they're a fascinating band because they had so many different phases. You know, they went jazzy and everything. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I don't. That's a band I could never.
Well, they had
ambivalent to try.
They have a song title on there that is just, if you want to screams English, Berkshire Poppies. I love that title. It's great.
It was the best of Shires. It was the worst of Shires.
Yeah.
That was a good joke. I didn't put in the penalty box.
Now I'm sick of it. You wore me down tonight. You wore me down.
I'm trying to entertain Todd.
Also, that came out in 67. Are You Experienced?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jimi Hendrix.
Foxy Lady.
The Jimi Hendrix Experience. All right, Lou, you're up.
Was that Mark? No, Mark's turn, is it? No, not me.
Somebody go.
Okay, I got it. The Rascals with the album Collections.
Okay.
Greatest hits album, but it came out in 67.
Yeah. You got Mark?
One of my favorite soul songs ever, the album Reach Out by Four Tops. Reach Out is a great freaking song.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small Faces comes out with their debut album.
Oh.
67. Yeah.
Born Free.
Andy Williams.
Who's going to sing it?
As free as the wind blows, as free as the sky flows. I just made that second line up.
Shitty
As free as the grass grows.
I don't know, nobody knows the words.
Some shitty film of a little tiger baby,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Andy Williams had some good singles. That's kind of crazy.
Andy Williams is a great, he's a great singer, man. Great Christmas albums.
Mr. Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. I used to watch his variety show too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do you got, Mark?
By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Glenn Campbell, and that is one of my favorite songs of his. Put out 2 albums that year, but that was one of them.
Gentlemen, I am about to announce the greatest album released from 1967. It is not Sgt. Pepper's. Oh no. Well,
you're going to take mine. You're going to take mine.
No, I'm about to. Now get ready for the greatness. The greatness.
Okay.
That was Leonard Nimoy presents Mr. Spock's Music from Outer Space.
Okay.
Greatest album of 67. How it did not win Grammys, Emmys, Academy Awards, whatever you give that.
Did he cover any pop standards on it?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, let's
Intergalactic racism.
Let's see what the track listing is. Track 1, theme from Star Trek. Track 2, Alien. Track 3, Where Is Love? Track 4, music to watch Space Girls by.
That's an Andy Williams rip cover.
Track 5, Beyond and Terry's. Track 6, Twinkle Twinkle Little Earth. Right? That's just side 1. Side 2, track 1, Mission Impossible. Track 2, Lost in the Stars. Track 3,
like
Where
Shatner.
No Man Has Gone Before. Track 4, You Are Not Alone. And track 5, to finish off this great, great epic album, A Visit to a Sad Planet.
Wow.
And there you have it, the greatest album of 1967. I should have saved the best for last. I know, but I just couldn't. I had to.
What was the title of that album, Scott?
Leonard Nimoy. I just lost my fucking oh Jesus, here we go. The name of the album is Leonard Nimoy's what is it? Let me see. Can't believe that just happened. Should have known it. Here we go. It's coming up. Leonard Nimoy presents Mr. Spock's Music from Outer Space.
It's on Spotify, so we can all listen to it.
There you go.
I just added it as a favorite of mine. There's also a compilation that I was looking at called
Whoa. What did you just say? I'm going to be Jack right now. Did you say compilation?
Compilation.
Oh,
I'm from Jersey. There's also a compilation.
hey, got that compilation. You get that album? That's a good album. It's a compilation of a bunch of songs. What do you know? It's fucking novel. It's novel.
Here's some Sunday morning coffee listening. Spaced Out, the best of Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. Yes.
Oh, that's some heavy shit right there.
I'm adding that to my list too.
That's some heavy shit.
Mr. Tambourine Man.
When did Shatner put out his stuff? That was the 70s. Or did he do
70s? I think. Yeah.
Did he do any of that in the 60s?
He did King Henry V.
Oh.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy does Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. I gotta hear that one.
He also did Bilbo Baggins.
And If I Were a Carpenter.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I thought that was If I Was a Romulan.
All right, give me an album.
Oh, Lou, he does Gentle on My Mind. I gotta hear that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Am I up?
I got
No, you're up.
I'm up. The Fifth Dimension, Up and Away.
Up and away,
Yep.
my beautiful balloon.
Fucking wrecking crew here. Sunshine Pop, and the beautiful voice. Maybe my favorite female singer of all time, Marilyn McCoo. Next to Janis Joplin.
She was a hottie too.
Yeah, she was a hottie. Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Oh, the beginning of the illustrious, legendary career of the Grateful Dead this year, where they released their debut album. The Grateful Dead.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, thanks to you, Scott, I have nothing left because you took all my albums in your opening.
That's all right. We're about to move on to movies.
Yeah, I got a lot of movies.
We're doing movies.
Yeah, we're gonna do let's talk about some movies. We like to do that in these year things. People like it. I'm gonna finish off with, and there's been a lot of albums. We named some earlier, but probably one of the most unique voices in the history of rock. It was a short-lived run, but I'm going down to Chicago, no whatever my way. I'm going down.
Canned Heat.
Canned Heat.
I hate that song. I hate it. I've heard they're a really good band.
I never know the lyrics. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but I do like that song. Yeah, I'm going down my way. The dude was like 350 pounds.
It was like John Popper from Blues Traveler.
Yeah, Canned Heat's debut album. Canned Heat. Let me see.
Little Richard sang backup on one of their albums.
Who did?
Little Richard.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Cold Sweat came out in '67 too. James Brown.
I have that on vinyl.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones' brief foray into psychedelics, Satanic Majesty's Secret Service, whatever, came out that year. It was.
Did you just throw a James Bond movie
in
with the name of that song?
I had to. I'm sorry.
Did you just reference a James Bond movie?
And the album, kind of doesn't flow, but it has that one song they use in the car ad. Starts with the piano. Dun, 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 dun. That's a great song. She's a rainbow. Let's
take a break in the action and go with movies of 1967. Yeah, movies. Dr. Zhivago came out.
Omar Sharif.
The epic Omar Sharif. Dr. Zhivago.
Yeah.
Came out in 67. Lou, you have anything in front of you?
Mad Monster Party.
Mad Monster Party.
Mad Monster Party.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Mark?
I've got all my favorites listed, so I'm going to go with the Hard-Boiled Eggs. Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
What a great cast.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, great cast in that movie.
Yeah. I'm going to go with
those hard-boiled eggs, man. Ooh.
This is kind of strange that Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the remake with Daniel Craig is, in my view, the greatest Bond movie ever made. That was that chase scene at the beginning, literally. I am not lying, dude.
Were you fortunate?
It takes a lot to get me excited in a movie. I was literally moved up on the edge of my seat, leaning on the seat in front of me.
Were you fortunate to see it in the theater?
I did.
Me too.
Dude.
Whoa. I was like,
that chase scene was insane.
Yeah.
What a way to start the movie.
Yep.
Holy shit. But Sean Connery did not play James Bond in that movie.
It was it was a comedy.
It was David Niven.
David Niven, yes.
With a pencil thin mustache.
Yeah.
What was pencil thin?
Oh, jeez.
That's what Sean Connery said.
But that wasn't the only James Bond movie that came out that year.
No.
Oh.
You Only Live Twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was his one that took place in mostly Japan, right?
Yeah.
And it was seen as the weakest of the Sean Connery ones, but I still liked it.
That's the last one he did until he came back.
Yeah, the one he did. Yeah.
We'll never come back or whatever it's called.
I don't know. Joanne Kosborski's here. Good evening, Joanne. I love you. My favorite. Let me see. You Only Live Twice came out that year also. So there was 3 Bond movies.
Oh, we just talked.
We just said You Only Live Twice. Yeah. What was I thinking? Jesus, I got this. Joanne Kosborski gets me distracted.
You got the Schmitties.
I love Joanne. She gets me distracted.
She gave you the Schmitties.
In the Heat of the Night came out.
Yes, I had that on my list.
Yep.
Yeah, In the Heat of the Night came out in 67. He was busy that year. Sidney Poitier was busy that year.
Yeah.
To Serve with Love.
That came out not soon after, actually. Heat of the Night came out on what was it? It looks like August. And then in October, To Serve with Love came out. So he was doing double duty.
Yeah.
You know? Whose turn is it?
I blurred out To Serve with Love, so I guess it's Mark.
I'm going to go with a really kind of creepy movie, Wait Until Dark, with Audrey Hepburn, one of her last movies before she retired from making movies. She was blind, and it had Alan Arkin, Richard Crenna, and Efren Zimbalist Jr., and it was a creepy movie. She played a blind woman in an apartment.
Yeah.
And these guys are stalking her. It's disturbing.
Yeah, it was
you know?
weird. Yeah.
And it's also one of those movies where you go, look at that huge apartment in downtown Manhattan. She probably paid like $200 a month for it.
Yeah. Valley of the Dolls came out.
Yeah.
With the Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was it for her, right?
That was
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
I think that was it for her.
Yeah. What TV show was Ephraim Zimbalist in?
FBI.
FBI. The FBI.
See how fast I answered that?
Yeah.
Signs of a misspent youth.
Yes.
Sitting in front of the television. The FBI.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. So somewhere there was an Ephraim Zimbalist Senior.
Yes, I saw him on
Who's his
TCM, I
daughter?
believe.
Who's his daughter?
Stephanie Zimbalist.
Stephanie Zimbalist. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What else came out?
The Dirty Dozen.
There you go.
Dirty Dozen.
Got it
Yep.
right out of my mouth.
Lee
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yep. Great movie.
What was Telly Savalas' name in that movie?
And the Dirty Dozen?
Yes.
Oh, let me see. What was his name? I don't know.
I love Telly.
Maggot.
Maggot. That's right. Yeah.
By the way, every night at 10 o'clock here, they show Kojak. And so I go right to it.
Crack
Nice.
Nice.
I have Kojak. I have them on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll lend you the Rockford Files I just got, and you lend me Kojak. All right.
All
We'll
right,
switch.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What
Bonnie
about
and
me?
Clyde.
I have.
What do you want to borrow?
I don't have DVDs. I don't have.
You don't have
No.
DVDs? Come
I
on,
don't.
man.
I don't have
Physical?
DVDs. I don't have CDs.
Do you have a DVD player?
No.
Oh, wow.
I have the
No.
Odd Couple TV series on DVD.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't have. I haven't had a DVD player in years.
Oh, yeah. You dust it off now. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't know when I ever owned one.
Ooh.
I owned one in the 90s. There you go.
Neil Sean's Journey Through Time. This is how you get the concerts.
Yeah.
A good R-rated movie came out that year, Bonnie and Clyde.
Yes.
Great movie.
Yes.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Young Gene Hackman.
Barefoot in the Park.
Barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barefoot in the Park.
Was that Robert Redford's first movie?
No, I don't know if it's his first movie.
No, he did a couple before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was this big one. That was the producers came out that year.
The producers, yep.
Yep. Let's go down for the Hitler burger. The Hitler, yeah.
Hombre came out.
Yeah, good movie.
Was that John Wayne?
Yeah.
Paul Newman. No,
Paul Newman. Yeah. Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Another big year. How about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
Good gangster.
I never saw that.
George Siegel.
Yeah.
That's Jason Robards. My mother was born on the day of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Did you ever see the movie Johnny Get Your Gun?
High school.
Dude, that is a disturbing fucking movie.
The book is so much more uplifting.
That movie with Jason Robard plays his father in that movie.
We watched it in the high school assembly one time, and I'm just
watching Metallica's One, the video clips.
Oh,
is
that's
disturbing.
the one where the guy had everything. Yeah.
Is
No arms,
that
no
one
legs.
One of the Bottoms brothers, isn't that? Or yeah, I mean,
fucking disturbing. And he's tapping SOS. They figure it out, and they still keep him alive.
So what?
And he's in a room with a box over his face.
So he lost all his limbs.
Yep.
His face.
Yep. So they put a box, but he's still alive. And his voice talks through the movie.
He's trapped in his head.
And he starts tapping SOS, and you hear him talking to the doctors, but he's not. It's all in his thoughts.
Now, in the video, for one, is that his voice taken from the film?
Yeah.
That's a disturbing
That's
voice.
the film. They actually show clips of the film. Yeah. And the nurse comes in, and she's about to put him out of his misery. And the fucking doctor walks in. What are you doing in here? And he thought he had it. Like, she's gonna kill me. That's it.
Does she pleasure him in the movie? Because in the book she does.
Oh no, I don't think they did that in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She was Matuggy. You got a handy.
Yeah.
For once, Lou, you brought the show up from going down.
I mean, at least he got some gratification.
Up, no pun intended. Up.
Right.
I don't think I could watch that movie because it disturbed me so much in the Metallica video. That was an eerie fucking video.
And Jason Robards. Jason Robards was a great actor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
His version of Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman is epic.
Yeah.
Epic.
In Philadelphia.
Yeah. I mean, and I give Dustin Hoffman a lot of credit. He played Willie Loman. I think it was a play.
It was a TV play.
It was a TV play.
Yeah.
And Dustin Hoffman played that part really good. But Jason Robards was Willie Loman to me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I always remembered that after I read the book. And it was just something that always stuck with me. Where Biff comes home from college, and it was his whole life. He through high school, young school, goes to high school, athlete, goes to college. Hey dad, guess what? Guess what I did? Guess what I got? I won this, I won that. And the one thing his father would always say to him, that's great, Biff, but do they like you? That meant so. It was always, but do they like you?
Mm-hmm.
That was like, as a salesman, that was like he lived it.
Right.
You know? But do they like you? It was always his thing.
Yeah.
And I never forgot that. For some reason, that stuck with me. So, like, when I first met you guys and then, the show was over, I went into my wife. I said, these guys are fucking gold. They are a gold mine of music. And she looked at me and said, but do they like you?
Yes, we do.
Nice lead in, huh? You like that? You like that? Yeah. I had you guys.
I didn't answer the question, though. Mark did. I do like you.
Hey, Scott, when the Italian doesn't answer that question, you're in
shit.
big trouble.
You're
going to get the shaky thumb.
No.
What else do we have? What other any other movies?
Yeah.
What was the highest grossing movie of the year?
I was going to say The Graduate came out that year.
Graduate came out that year. That's right.
Reflections in a Golden Eye.
Right.
That was a Marlon Brando movie.
A Man for All Seasons.
Man for All Seasons.
Yep.
And probably the greatest movie of 1967, Elvis Presley's Clam Bake. I have another drugstore to tell. The first time I ever got high on marijuana, I watched Clam Bake, and it was a revelation. I saw things in there that weren't supposed to be in there.
Is that why to this day you say Elvis Presley is one sexy man because you saw Clam Bake?
No, he was one sexy man on the 1968 live TV special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the world's sexiest man on that thing.
Grand Prix came out that year.
Oh, that was
That was that was a good movie. About the race, the four race. Oh, and he's gone.
He's been doing that.
I guess he has to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
How I Won the War, the movie with John Lennon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we were just talking about that, right?
It was an anti-war movie directed by Richard Lester, was the guy that directed A Hard Day's Night. So, and actually, Lennon was quite good in it. He gets killed. He does a death scene.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. I think that was in black and white too.
So that year, the Dirty Dozen rakes in a whopping $18,200,000 in '67.
Wow, that's big.
That's a big. That's
the
big.
highest grossing movie.
Yeah, of '67. Yeah,
Oh,
the
shit,
Dirty Dozen.
wow. A war movie. How cool is that?
And then right behind it,
Movies are great.
it's $16,300,000. You Only Live Twice.
Okay.
And then it starts to drop off at $10,200,000. Casino Royale. Man for All Seasons, 9.2. Thoroughly Modern Millie. I've never even heard of that movie.
I've heard of it. I never saw it.
8.5. Barefoot in the Park pulls in 8.2.
Hmm.
Gregory Girl, don't know it. 7.3. To Sir With Love, 7.2. Grand Prix pulls in an even 7 million. And Ombre, $6.5 million.
What about Hell's Angels on Wheels?
Oh, dude, I saw that movie.
I saw it too. I mean,
It was so bad.
I don't remember. I don't remember it. It wasn't a drama, was it?
No, it wasn't like one of those. The Hell's Angels. They're evil. They're killers.
Okay. It's starring Adam Rourke, Jack Nicholson, and Sabrina Sharf. Whatever that is.
Yeah, that was one of those like bikers, like exploitation film, right? Like almost like a grindhouse film.
Huh. Okay.
Where it was really low budget.
Wow.
And they were capitalizing on the biker movement, Hell's Angels, and
This was before Joe Namath's CC and Company. Remember that one?
Good
and,
one,
and Margaret.
Good one. Wow.
You remember that one?
Of course I do.
Total drive-in movie
Oh
schlock.
my God, that was horrible.
I mean, he's a biker like in polo shirts. He's like a green cut, you know.
Joe Namath, CC and Company. Oh my God. Wow. Good pluck, man. Good pluck. Horrible movie.
Whatever. Yeah, I can't remember. It's like 75 maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They made multiple. They made Is he eating a donut? What's he eating? Chicken? A pickle.
It's a pickle.
He got a pickle. This dude in the military used to put out, he got a pickle. That's what he called it, a pickle.
I got to tell you, Scott, it sure ain't a tuna sandwich, though.
Ah, yeah.
I love pickles. I drink pickle juice.
How about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 67?
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Yeah.
Controversial. Spencer Tracy.
Yep.
Sidney Poitier again.
Sidney Poitier. I tell you, he was a busy man.
Busy man,
Spencer Tracy was great in that movie.
Yeah.
And Katharine Hepburn.
Denzel was like the Sidney Poitier of the 80s and 90s. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
They used it in everything.
A lot of different things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. More than 90s, I think. I think Denzel really made it. He was on St. Elsewhere in the 80s.
That was the one, St. Elsewhere, yeah.
Yeah. That was his debut. But his movies, he started pumping them out in the 90s. You know?
I like those cop shows in the 80s. Hill Street Blues.
Oh, it was great television for the time.
Yeah, it was.
I like Kojak. I like Kojak.
Kojak was great.
Kojak
was a well-written show.
I think my favorite cop show ever, honestly, Barney Miller. Thank you.
Barney Miller, great show.
Fucking great.
I love Barney Miller.
Covered everything. It was diversity at its best.
Think about it. What's diversity?
Dude, when I was young, I didn't like it because I didn't understand it. I was too young. Years later, I watched it. That was a great show. Yeah. And I didn't like Kojak either when I was young because wasn't enough action. I was a Chips guy when I was young. Gotcha. I was like, and then
you like that porn music and Chips though.
Yeah. Chicka wow wow, as they say.
The slow motion car crashes.
When Punch goes to the house, hi man. Yes, answer a few questions, man.
Some of the funniest characters.
I should be on the porn couch doing this today. Did I tell you what I looked? I showed you the video, right? I YouTube porn couch, and my couch is on there. It's like
I saw that. That's insanely funny. That was hilarious.
It's a little darker, but it's the same. It's the same thing,
Yeah, I said it's at the separate backs, right?
Yes,
the whole thing. Yeah. Let's see. Let's move on to this day in music. Let's just get the. Oh, you know what? I didn't do my top 10. Hold on.
Wait, can I mention one more movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my favorites, In Cold Blood.
Yeah, Truman Capote.
Truman Capote. Yeah.
Truman Capote.
Robert Blake.
Yep.
What was the guy's name? Something Wilson. Tom Wilson. He was in The Walking Dead. He played the old guy, the old veterinarian in The Walking Dead.
Scott yeah.
Scott Wilson.
Yeah, whose daughter ends up being the boss of all this.
She's the badass. Yeah.
That was another R-rated movie, very early for an R-rated movie.
Yeah. Great soundtrack by Quincy Jones too.
All right, let's get to this.
Yeah, Mark's done with this pickle.
Top 10 this week in 1967. Number 10, Funky Broadway by Wilson Pickett.
Yeah, funky Broadway.
Number 9, I Dig Rock and Roll Music by what the fuck? Peter, Paul, and Mary. What? What? As Dave Schwell say, what?
Oh, I've heard that. It's really bad.
Oh man,
It's schlock.
Which one was a pedophile? Peter or Paul? One of them did some pretty bad shit.
I don't know.
His name started with a P.
Yeah.
It's probably Peter.
Number 8 this week in 1967 in the top 10. You're My Everything by the Temptations. Number 7 this week in 1967.
Hey, you're my everything.
I don't know. Yeah. Higher and Higher, Jackie Wilson.
Mr. Excitement.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement. Number 6 this week in 1967. Apples, Peaches, and Pumpkin Pie. Jay and the Techniques. Apple, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie.
Don't know that one.
You were young. Yeah, you heard it. Apple, peaches, pumpkin pie. You were young and so was yeah.
I'm a young'em. We don't know that.
These kids today.
Number 5 this week in 1967. Never My Love, The Association.
Great band.
Never My Love.
Good song.
Yeah.
Monterey Pop Festival.
Yep. Number 4 this week in 1967. Reflections of the way life used to be. Reflections of Diana Ross and the Supremes. Reflections.
Yeah.
Number 3 this week in 1967. Come Back When You Grow Up. You know what? I'm about to say that to Mark. Come back when you grow up. And now I put him in the penalty box. See, because he's the youngest. I have to say this.
Yeah,
he's the youngest. So
he needs to be punished.
That's what happens to the youngest brother. They always get. Trust me. I got the shit end of every stick.
Tell me about it. I was
always picking on me.
Yeah.
Mom.
I was the second youngest. So I got the same thing. Makes you scrappy.
One of my favorite all-time songs, the most mysterious, maybe arguably one of the most mysterious songs ever made. It doesn't get the attention that Carly Simon's song gets, You're So Vain, but number 2 this week in 67, Ode to Billy Joe by the absolutely knocked down, dead gorgeous Bobby Gentry.
Yeah.
That woman was phenomenal looking.
Yes, she was. Great hair.
Holy, great toes to head.
Yeah.
Everything.
She wrote her own material too.
She wrote it. She was one of those women that got what she wanted and earned it.
I heard it off track by her on it was Outlaw Country. I saw Bobby Gentry. I'm like, it was it was good. I mean, it was country, but it was country rock, but it was really good.
Yeah, well.
But you're right. Eerie song and an eerie movie. I remember watching it. I forgot who.
Yeah, with Robbie Benson.
Benson.
It was an eerie story.
He couldn't jump off quick enough.
Well, he was a creepy actor, if you ask me. Robbie Benson was kind of creepy. Man.
He's kind of creepy. He always talk like this. I'm Robbie Benson.
What was he? Was he in Ben? No, he wasn't in Ben Ronald. That was Ron Jacoby. Remember Ben Ronald? He was a creeper kid hung out on the walls of the house.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was based kind of like that Angie, that Helen Reddy song, Angie Baby.
Yeah.
Where the guy's living in the wall, like he's peeping on it. He has all the fucking holes. Yeah, good one. Luke comes out with 2 good ones. Wow.
Yeah.
And a Robbie Benson impersonation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Don't overdo it now. Relax.
I gotta go take a shower.
Quit while you're ahead, Robbie. Quit while you're ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And number 1 this week in 1967, The Letter by the Box Tops.
One of the shortest songs in rock and roll.
That's right. It is, right?
I like their version better than the Joe Cocker version.
All right, let's see. We might make it under 2.5 hours tonight, gentlemen.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Let me see. This day in 2021, Sarah Dash. Nah, don't care. This day in 2020, Tommy DeVito. He was 92, died of COVID. Best known. Four Seasons. Yep.
Great band. Italo Rock.
He was also in the Beach Boys, by the way.
No.
Tommy DeVito. Yep.
No. When was
lead guitarist for the Four Seasons, who were one of the only 2 American bands, the other being Beach Boys, to enjoy substantial chart success before, during, and after the British invasion. Understand 2012, Pink Floyd, House Was Sold. That this whole thing that you're selling the house that Roger Waters, Nick Mason, Richard Wright, and Syd Barrett lived in. Gives a shit that they like. So what? They lived there. Like,
it's no.
Why do you want to immortalize that?
Yeah.
Someone bought it. The guy wasn't even a fan.
See, I would like.
He bought that in the house next door.
It's like buying the Tate house. Like the.
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
that's a haunted tour.
Well, didn't Trent Reznor buy that?
Yes, I think so. Or the guy
Yeah.
from Ghost
Sick
Adventure,
fuck.
Zach. He
Yeah.
would buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, sleep tight.
On this day in 2005, Jason Dean Fortune, better known as J.D. Fortune, beat two other finalists to become the new lead singer for INXS. I hate it. I never.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. What are you doing?
And they made a show out of it.
What are you doing? Like,
what an insult to the legacy of
Michael Hutchins.
Yeah.
just a money grab. That's
He was
all
a really
that
good singer
was.
too.
Who?
Yeah, he was.
Michael Hutchins.
Oh, it was great.
Underrated.
Yeah,
Another
great front man.
underrated one.
Yeah. Great front man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elton John starts a 6-week run at number one. Who cares? On this day in 1997, Pearl Jam's Jeremy video was cited as one of the reasons American teenager Barry Lukatis had snapped in a violent rage that left 3 people not alive. Defense. Wow. You know, you got to watch this stuff on YouTube. Like, there's certain words that get flagged. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos like these, like, you know, again, the 10 creepiest musicians or, you know, worst people on YouTube videos. It's pretty good. This dude's got a really good channel. But I also notice it a lot in other ones where they won't say, like, you know, dead.
The D word.
Yeah, they really avoid things because they don't want to even get flagged for any type of violations.
That's why AI needs improving.
Like, oh shoot, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I heard they can swear. That's the funny thing. You can swear all you want. It's just when you hit these certain keywords, like the R word, like they won't say it.
Trigger word.
Know? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's AI. It's not doing its job right.
Let's see. This is kind of a sad one. On this day in 1994, the Dave Matthews Band releases Under the Table and Dreaming. The album featured their first commercial hits, What Would You Say? And Satellite.
Oh, I hate that song.
Ants Marching. The album was dedicated to Matthews' older sister, Anne, who was killed by her husband in 1994 murder-suicide.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yikes.
He will always be Otis to me. Otis from Winn-Dixie. He was great in that movie. I'm not a bad man.
Let's bring it up a little bit. On this day in 1986, Huey Lewis and the News start a 3-week run at number one on the U.S. singles charts with "Stuck with You." I'm so happy to be stuck with you.
I liked Huey Lewis.
And then here's the woman that, what's that?
Hip to be square, man.
Yeah. Jacob's Ladder is my favorite Huey.
Yes,
Huey Lewis
I played that in the cover band.
Yeah.
Great song.
Like that. On this day in 1980, Kate Bush, congratulations, on finally making it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not because she's a woman. She actually earned it. Scored her first UK number one album with Never Forever. It was the first ever album by a British female solo artist to top the UK album chart, as well as being the first album by any female solo artist to enter the chart at number one. That's amazing.
Stellar
and
career.
she has all sorts of like little facts like that.
Yeah.
On this day in 1976, AC/DC released their third studio album, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
With the classic track, Big Balls.
Yep.
Nothing
got big balls.
Janis
Joplin got big balls.
She's got the biggest balls of them all.
She does. He does.
She carries on a wheelbarrow in front of her.
The album has been certified 6 times platinum in the United States, which means that it sold at least 6 million copies, becoming the third highest sold album by AC/DC in the U.S. after Highway to Hell and Back in Black.
And you know what's ironic? The song Dirty Deeds has that disco drum sound. Boom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They were putting it in every song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this day in 1976, the first of 2-night 100 Club Punk Festival, the 2-night 100 Club Punk Festival in Oxford Street in London, featuring the Sex Pistols, the Clash, Subway Sect, Susie, spelling on the poster was S-U-Z-I, Susie and the Banshees, where it's actually S-O-U-X-I-E, right? And the Banshees, the Buzzcocks, Vibrators, and Stinky Toys played. The admission was £1.50,
Stinky
which is
toys. I
probably
like that.
today about $2.
You can buy a stinky toy in Romantic Depot.
You can buy a vibrator for one too.
How do you guys know this? How do
Have
know
you ever heard of
this?
that chain?
I heard.
There's a chain. I pass it every day on the way to work. They're in suburban America, Romantic Depot. They managed to go
Yes,
next
sir.
to CVS's, but because as Ron Jeremy, when he did his commercial, he said the best thing I like about Romantic Depot is the entrances in the rear. But what it means is that all these suburban people can go there and no one will see
Go in
them
the
going
back.
in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I miss the days of the overcoat and the rubber nose and glasses and the hat going to the movie.
Why did you used to wear that, Lou? Is that why?
Well,
Why do you
I'm
miss
just from the
it?
movies.
Why did you-
I don't want to be recognized.
Lou was tripping balls when he did that too.
Yeah.
That was the first time he did acid.
Lou, were they speaking Japanese in Rome?
Yeah, exactly. No, but Lou was turning Japanese.
It had Japanese. Yes. It had Japanese.
Oh, there you go. On this day in 1976, the Captain and Tennille musical variety show premiered on ABC.
Oh, I
US.
watched that. Yeah.
Let's see.
Remember the captain always had to tell a hat joke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. On this day in 1975, winners in this year's Melody Makers Readers poll include Robert Plant, who won Best Singer, 75. Joni Mitchell, Best Female Singer. Yes, won Best Band.
Wow.
Yeah. Genesis won Best Live Act.
Wow.
Best Single, I'm Not in Love by 10cc.
Oh, good song.
And Best Album, Led Zeppelin.
Big boys don't cry.
Yeah.
Big boys don't
I heard something tonight, and you know what? And it references that. Dude says, it's true. Big boys don't cry, but men do.
Good point. But then there's women that say real men don't cry. And I want to say to them that say that's not true.
Last time a girl said that to me, I punched her in the face saying, who's the man now? Who's the man now?
It was Janis Joplin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So it was like kind of hitting a guy. So it didn't really matter. It didn't count.
This is the end of the
that
show.
doesn't make
folks.
any of the history notes, though. That doesn't make this day of music. That will never make this day
That's
of
a
music.
footnote at
It was an isolated incident. It was
footnote at that big music festival.
It was shoved under the carpet that she was munching on.
Oh, poor Janis.
Anyway, on this day, 1975.
Scott's a nice guy. Scott's a nice guy.
That's the filthiest thing I've ever heard him
guy.
say.
Scott's a nice guy. Scott's a nice guy. Scott's a nice guy.
That just came out.
They lost all editorial filters there.
Oh my God!
Nice guy.
This show, and this is not. Yeah, this show is not. I don't edit it, so that's
Scott's a nice guy.
staying.
You know what it
Oh,
is?
man.
Scott's a nice guy. Scott's
Yeah.
a nice guy.
Was it shag or broadloom carpet?
It was like a rubber
probably-
bathroom mat.
It's probably
Like
shag.
a rubber bathroom mat. She was ahead of her time.
Oh man.
Not really. Wasn't really a carpet. It was a rubber mat.
Oh,
Oh Jesus. We're gonna get. I think we're in trouble.
nah. No curses. No curse words.
That's true.
That's it's funny.
But his little skulls.
It wasn't.
It's a rubber. It wasn't a carpet.
It was a rubber bathroom.
Sounds like a song.
You munching on a rubber.
Oh, all right. Let me get my shit together here. Oh, okay. On this day in 1975.
Good thing I don't have to piss.
He's gonna wow from Joanne.
I'm going to get this done. Fame gave David Bowie his first #1 in the U.S. The song was co-written with John Lennon. And of course, as we all know, Lennon's voice is heard towards the end of the song, repeating the words fame, 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 from fast track through regular track to slow track before Bowie finished the lyrics.
Fame.
Yep.
What's your name?
On this day in 1975, the Bay City Rollers made their U.S. TV debut and they appeared on Saturday Night Variety Show.
Tough guys, man. They were the toughest.
Yeah, well, it
Only
was
the
a sad
toughest from
day.
Scotland.
It was a sad day this day in 1973. On his way to perform his second concert of the day, U.S. singer-songwriter Jim Croce was killed with 5 others when his chartered aircraft hit a tree on takeoff in Louisiana.
Okay, so how many fucking good musicians have we lost to plane crashes? This is sick.
Yeah.
It really is.
Funny you mentioned Jim Croce because we were talking last week where we think he would have been huge.
Yeah.
And Jack said no. There was an article as I was logging on how his music is endured, and there's gonna be a Jim Croce relook at.
Yeah.
Someone's actually around here. Someone's doing a Jim Croce tribute show. Actually,
yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. I don't know what Jack was thinking that night. He was just being argumentative, I think. But the guy was, if he had stayed on course and didn't die, he would have he was on his way.
Yeah.
I forget who I compared him to, but he's like, you can't compare him to that, and blah, blah, blah.
All right, can we all stop picking on Jack? He's not
Anyway.
here. Come on. Not
All
here
right.
to defend himself.
On this day in 1972, Paul and Linda McCartney were arrested for the second time for possession of cannabis, yada, yada. On this day in 1970, Jim Morrison and the Doors, Jim Morrison of the Doors was acquitted. We already talked about that. On this day in 1970, the Rolling Stones live album Get Your Ya-Ya's out. Started a 2-week run at number 1.
My favorite album.
On the UK chart, recorded in New York's Madison Square Garden on the 27th, featuring Jumpin' Jack Flash, Honky Tonk Woman, and Midnight Rambler, which is a great version.
Yes.
That's a great version. On this day in 1969, based on the comic book TV series Archie and His Friends, the Archie started 4-week run at number 1 with Sugar.
Best bubblegum song ever.
Honey,
Best
honey.
bubblegum song ever.
Once that gets in my head, I can't get it out.
On this day in 1969, Blind Faith started the 2-week run at number 1 in the UK chart with their self-titled album.
Great album.
Yeah, I have all their album.
Yeah, all their album.
I have all their album.
That was one and done.
Yeah.
One and done.
That's it. The only release from Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, Ginger Baker, Rick Grinch lineup also reached number 1. Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker, like my brother says, fucking Clapton couldn't shake him.
He didn't want to play with him. He didn't want him to be in Blind Faith. But
Yeah, he couldn't shake him.
Can you just see Clapton's face when Ginger walks into the studio?
But he knows how great he was. He knew how great he was. I mean,
listen, even the drumming on "Can't Find My Way Back Home." I mean, it's so unusual.
Yeah.
It's just one of a kind.
greatest drummer ever.
Yes, he is. All right.
No, Neil Peart.
On this day in 1969, UK music paper Melody Maker readers' poll results were published. Winners include Eric Clapton, who won Best Musician, Bob Dylan, Best Male Singer, and Best Album for Nashville Skyline. Best Group went to the Beatles. Best Single went to Simon & Garfunkel for The Boxer. And Janis Joplin won for Best
Male vocalist.
Male Acting Like a Female Singer.
Here we go again.
Yep. Best trans
Carpet
singer.
that thing.
And when she received her award holding a rubber bath mat.
Do you know who I always thought looked like
Janis? on
Janis?
a rubber bath mat.
Do you know who I think?
Received?
Do you know who looks like her? Look at Ozzy Osbourne in the early 70s. He looked like Janis Joplin.
Oh my
right?
God! Now he's
The
a little
hair,
better looking.
She looked like him.
If you'd put those two together and said, "Who are you going to date?" I'd be like, "Come on, Ozzy, let's
We
go."
got that. We got that. Someone clicked that
I
audio.
said, if I'm going to date a guy, I'm just dating Ozzy because it's I have to do it. So on this day in 1969, during a meeting in London between Lennon, McCartney, and Ringo Starr, Lennon announced he was leaving the Beatles.
I'm leaving the Beatles.
Yeah. On this day in 1968, Led Zeppelin, recording under the name The Yardbirds, started recording their debut album at Olympic Studios, Barnes, London, England. The album took only about 36 hours of studio time to complete at a cost of around, I don't know, a couple $1,000.
Yeah. Page put some of his own money into it.
Yep. With most of the tracks being recorded live in the studio with very few overdubs.
Yeah.
On this day in 1964, the Beatles, who cares? And on this day in 1957, Buddy Holly released the single Peggy Sue with Everybody as a B-side. Yeah. The song was originally entitled Cindy Lou, after Holly's niece, but was later changed to Peggy Sue in reference to Peggy Sue Guerin, the girlfriend and future wife of Jerry Allison, the drummer for the Crickets, after the couple had temporarily broke up.
He has a co-write on that.
Yeah. Born on this day. Matthew and Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh, the great Nuno Betancourt from
Extreme.
Oh, great
Extreme.
guitar player.
He's a
Great
good guitar player. I give him that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like Extreme.
Let's see. Alana Curry. Do you know who Alana Curry is? For you
Runaways,
80s
right?
people, from you 80s fans. Alana Curry from the Thompson Twins.
Oh.
Hold me now
In your
in your loving heart. Yeah, yeah. Born on this day in 1949. I think we're finishing. No, we're not finishing up. I might finish up. Nope. Chuck and John Panozzo.
Sticks.
Sticks. Yep.
Great rhythm section. I mean, twins. Twins have to be a good rhythm section.
They were twins.
Yeah, twins.
Yeah. Born on this day in 1946. Mick Rogers from Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Yeah.
Let's see. Born on this day in 1945. Sweet Pea Atkinson, American R&B singer. And pretty much that's it, gentlemen. We did it in 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Hey, Scott, Mary Martin just joined in.
Okay. Well, she's gonna
And she
watch
saw
the
Sticks.
she's gonna watch the replay.
And she saw Sticks in concert. I'm jealous.
No,
Okay.
Thompson twins.
Oh, Thompson Twins.
So I saw the Thompson Twins at the Orpheum Theater in Boston, probably around 80, 83, 82. Great concert. They actually did put on a really good show.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
I like the Thompson Twins. I still like them to this day. Yeah. I don't think there's a song that I hear from them that I go, it's played out. Yeah. But saw them, at the Orpheum Theater in Boston. That's one of the T's in my A to Z concerts that I've seen. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, that's it. We're getting Mark to bed early tonight.
Really? It's before 10.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten dinner yet, so
He stayed a pickle.
I had a pickle. I'm gonna have 99. I'm gonna have 99 hard-boiled eggs.
You say you eating a pickle?
And you know, Paul Newman really did eat 99 eggs. I heard he did.
That's not true. That's
I heard
not
that. It was
true.
on Wikipedia. It's got to be true.
So when his belly was all swollen, that was
Oh, you
real.
saw his belly. Yeah.
I heard Janis Joplin was a woman too. So I don't know.
It's got to be the morning after when you have to eat that many hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, like I always say, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your knowledge, and thank you for your friendship. I truly, truly, truly appreciate all of it.
We did.
Patty, thank you for watching as usual. You're the bestest.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like it, share it. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching for 2 hours and 7 minutes or listening for 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Fool.
We appreciate your time. You guys are the engine that runs this machine. Without you, it'd just be me talking to these guys. And, well, yeah, what the hell? Why not? I'd do it anyways. The thing is, these guys right here, the Wrecking Two, are absolute fucking music junkies because I do one podcast a week. I do this podcast. They're going to go on Sunday night and do the music Relish Show, which is like, these guys are like just, they're animals. You're animals, gentlemen.
We enjoy it.
Your dedication to music is absolutely admirable.
Yeah,
Absolutely admirable.
You got to be happy. You got to enjoy it, and we enjoy it.
There's always something to find.
Yeah, and it's always interesting.
You had asked me to do a little deep dive on Little Richard last week.
Next week. That's right. You should have reminded me.
I'd say, well, I mean, we'll get another half hour to just keep Mark up.
I'm already into my closeout.
Yeah, I know. But,
So I'm already checking out, in other words.
yeah,
I'm already checking
I'm
out.
ready to relax for
But
the
next week, that's
I'm ready.
right. I forgot to do that. I forgot to talk about that, but remind me, Lou.
Sure.
Remind me. And as I always say, doing the show for you, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. We will be back next Wednesday night, hopefully, if all three of us are in operating order.
How's my laptop?
And
Yeah,
Lou,
right.
Lou will still, maybe he'll be in Paris. Maybe he'll be on the porn couch next week. Who knows? Lou's a mystery man. But all right, gentlemen. All right, listeners, viewers, thank you. And we'll see you next